Coming back to the ritual of life, there is a micro plan that Swami has given for life and a macro plan. When I say macro plan, it's a vision, a kind of a vision thing, a large whole life kind of a planning. And when I say micro, it is for our day-to-day activities. It's all there in Swami's discourses. I thought it would be great to present these two plans, the macro plan and the micro plan. Let me start with the macro plan. The macro plan Swami has outlined in a discourse called the Mansion of Life. It's there in Sathya Sai Speaks. Swami says the mansion of life is built as multiple stories. What is each story made of? Swami says the foundation is the Brahmacharya ashram. The first floor is Grahastha ashram, then Vanaprastha ashram, finally the Sannyasa ashram. These are Sanskrit terms, but Brahmacharya ashram means the stage of celibacy. Grahastha ashram is the stage of householder. Vanaprastha ashram is the stage of retirement. And Sannyasa ashram is the stage of complete detachment. Let's spend a few minutes on these. Swami in the discourse says that it is not compulsory that one goes through all the 4 ashrams. Sometimes they go through only 3, sometimes only 2. But definitely everyone should go through Brahmacharya and Sannyasa. These are 2 most important ashrams. And this becomes important because we can roughly divide our life into 4 quarters, each quarter dedicated to one of these ashrams or stages. Brahmacharya is the stage which is the foundation, which Swami says is when childhood and teenage years. Celibacy, it is translated as celibacy, though celibacy is not a complete translation for Brahmacharya. But why is celibacy given as a translation? Because practically that is what makes sense. This is a stage when we are not supposed to focus on relationships, on boyfriends, girlfriends, husband, wife. No. This is a stage practically dedicated for studies and learning. And what learning? What? Higher learning. It is the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, right? Higher learning doesn't mean academically higher degrees, but higher learning. Because Brahmacharya means seeking Brahman. This is the age when the child or the teenager realizes that the goal of life is to get God. Because happiness is union with God. Happiness is union with God, and therefore union with God is the goal of life. The first stage, the foundation of life, has to be spent to build this in very strongly. This is what will guide every other action that we do in life, the habits we inculcate, the kind of people we keep company with. Because any of those that takes us away from our goal, we will avoid. Any of those that take us towards our goal, we will go into. That is why Swami would also define a friend, Of course, God is the best friend. God is the only friend. But Swami would say any friend who takes you closer to God is a good friend. Takes you away from God is not a good friend. However, other benefits he or she might give you. So the first stage in life, in the macro planning, is to be spent only on this. Why? Why shouldn't boys and girls mingle as teenagers? Why shouldn't we go to prom parties together? There is a reason, there is a reasoning. Definitely. As I said, I don't have time to go into that now. But suffice that Swami has said, right? This is how Swami has said it, so therefore I'll follow it. Then comes the Grahastha stage. Grahastha stage is when marriage comes in. Again, Swami has given so much advice on marriage. Modern concepts like dating, though without using the word dating, Swami has given advice. In fact, a couple of months back I had done a video on that as well on the channel. But Grahastha ashram, this is the time when you grow the family, you take up responsibilities, we do work, pursue the career, duty as a father, duty as a mother, duty towards the children, duty towards our parents. Because parents by now would have gone into the next stage, which is Vanaprastha ashrama. Vanaprastha is the time when you slowly start planning for retirement. You start cutting away attachment, start reducing desires. It's okay. It's okay if I don't visit all the 170 or 200 odd countries in the world. It's okay if I don't buy the best cars. It's okay. You start reducing desires. That is Vanaprasthashram. And start relinquishing positions of power, relinquishing positions of authority, positions of money. You start writing your will, because you know these are all ephemeral, these are passing clouds. And finally you reach a sannyasa stage where you are not attached to anything. At least in the Vanaprastha stage, you guide your children, you tell this is the way you do, this is what you don't do. And if they take your advice or not, it's okay. But in sannyasa stage, no, you're focused, because now you have to attain the goal. Having been taught that God is the ultimate goal, now in the final few years, I better ensure that I reach that goal. Otherwise, I'll have to be born and go through this whole thing again. This whole ritual of life. But today, what do? During the Brahmacharya ashram, we are focused on the Grahastha. As teenagers, we start dating, we start finding whatever, girlfriends, boyfriends. What's wrong in that? It's wrong. What is wrong is that it's not the correct time and circumstance for that. There is a time and circumstance coming in later in life for that. Then when it comes to Grahastha, the time when we have to work hard, we say, oh God, I am so stressed. I don't have time. Most of the memes that we see by working professionals is all about that, right? All about how stressful life is and how we want retirement. As Grahastha, we are wanting Vanaprastha. But once we reach Vanaprastha stage, we want to enjoy again being carefree like we were as children. Oh no. And we miss the Grahastha stage. Retirement is not fulfilling because it's so boring, it's so dead. I want to live life, I want to be vibrant. 60 is the new 30. Nonsense. When we were supposed to be 30, we were not. We were eyeing for 60. And now when we are 60, we say, no, this is the new 30. Yes, we will work, we will enjoy, we will indulge in pleasure. No, wrong timing. Wrong timing, brothers and sisters. And then sannyasa, we don't reach at all. We never reach a stage of renunciation and giving up. We are attached. Even on the deathbed, we are attached to our power, our position, our money, our relationship, everything. That's why we die crying. We don't die peacefully. This is a macro planning. As I said, I don't have time to go into the details, but this is the kind of macro planning. And what about micro planning? For micro planning, I want to recollect how one Swami had said, for my students, if they follow the hostel schedule, it's enough sadhana. They need not do any other sadhana. Because Swami has set up a hostel schedule such a beautiful manner. I'll quickly go through the hostel schedule because I think it's very, very useful. So at around 5 o'clock, you wake up with Omkar and Suprabhatam prayers. 5:30, jogging and exercises. 6:30, you're back, your ablutions, have your bath, get ready. 7:30, breakfast. 8:30, you're off to college or to work, wherever. This is the ideal planning. Okay. Then, so at around 12:30, you take lunch, continue with work. Ideally, you should be done with work by 4:35. Having started at 8:30, by 5 you are done. 6:30, prayers. Before those prayers, some physical exercise. Dinner by 8 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock, sleep. This is the micro planning for the day. And there is a reason for each of these. There's something called the Sattvic time, the Rajasic time, the Tamasic time. Again, I have done a video on this as well. This is how it is. This is the ideal. I may not be able to follow it, but I should tend towards it. I should try to work, build my career, organize my priorities in a manner that I can adhere to this because Swami has given this schedule. This is the one that will help us do everything perfectly. So therefore, I think we first start off with faith in Swami's words, follow whatever he says, and know that behind every ritual that we do in life, there is a spirit. Understanding that spirit will make it spiritual. And definitely, we have to head towards that ideal scenario where I don't see a difference between the kind of things that I'm doing, because everything that I'm doing is Swami's work. Without his will, we say, not even a blade of grass moves. Is it possible for you and me to do things which are not his will? With that, I pray to Swami that our love for him keeps growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.